What's up YouTube? It's the one and only Division 18 and welcome back to another video. So Colin Kaepernick. There's been a lot of teams this season that could have signed them to his squad, and no matter what you think about his kneeling, his talent alone was definitely enough for him to be a starter or at least a backup in this league. But this video is not about Colin Kaepernick being a backup in the NFL, because that's not what he wants. That's not the end goal. Colin Kaepernick believes that he can revive his career in the NFL as a starter. And while it's pretty obvious at this point that Colin Kaepernick is getting blackballed by NFL owners, I believe that there are some teams next season, maybe, that will be able to look past the controversy and give Colin Kaepernick a chance at starting in the NFL again. So if you guys do end up enjoying this video, then make sure to give a big thumbs up and subscribe for more NFL videos throughout this season. But other than that, let's go. The New Orleans Saints. Yes, I know the New Orleans Saints as of right now have quarterback Drew Brees. And while he's 38 years old, most people still believe that he's going to continue to play after this season. But to me, I think that also depends on the circumstances at hand. At this point, who really believed that the New Orleans Saints would be this good at this point in the season? While their offense, led by quarterback Drew Brees, is constantly a top 5 offense year in and year out, the defense is questionable, which is the reason why they finished 7-9 in the last 2 seasons. But this season, the defense is a whole new animal, and they've been playing physical defense, led by one of the best defensive rookies of the year and probably one of the defensive rookie of the year candidates, Marshawn Lattimore. So when I say that it depends on the circumstances when it comes to quarterback Drew Brees, is what if the New Orleans Saints win the Super Bowl this season? I know that that's a far stretch as of right now, but it's not unrealistic. And if that is the case, Drew Brees will have 2 Super Bowl rings, 3rd all-time in passing yards, completions, and touchdowns, led the NFL in passing yards 7 times, with 5 of those being throwing for over 5,000 yards, and having the most consecutive games throwing a touchdown with 54, which is almost 3.5 seasons. He's a beast, and if that's the case, then the New Orleans Saints might be looking for a new veteran quarterback next season. The Buffalo Bills. Let's make it clear, the Buffalo Bills organization is either racist or stupid, or in this case, maybe both. The move to start Nate Peterman was just ridiculous when the Buffalo Bills were right in the middle of the playoff hunt. The fact that he finished the game with a stat line of 6 of 14 passing, 66 yards, and 5 interceptions is laughable. But that's not the point. The point is that it's obvious that Tyrod Taylor isn't in the Bills' future plans. And while most of it is to blame on the Bills because it looks as if they're not giving Tyrod Taylor any breathing room, even though he's brought the Buffalo Bills to an above average record, not including the last game that Nate Peterman started. But Tyrod Taylor is not in the Bills' future plans, and that's the point. If he's on the team in March, the Bills will owe him around $6 million. So I do expect the cut to happen right around the time the season is over, playoffs or no playoffs. And unless the plan is tanking the rest of the season, they're not looking at some great quarterback talent in the draft. And unless the Buffalo Bills still believe in Nate Peterman, or the Bills don't fire their head coach, Colin Kaepernick can no doubt find his home in Buffalo next season. The Arizona Cardinals. Let's face it, as with quarterback Drew Brees, Carson Palmer is going to have to make some decisions regarding his future in this offseason. But unlike Drew Brees, Carson Palmer might have to consider retirement because of his body. His body has been bruised and broken from what can maybe be a Hall of Fame career. With Carson Palmer, he's never won the big game itself, but if he does end up retiring this season, and assuming he does come back healthy in week 16 from his broken arm, he will have finished 12th all-time in passing yards and 12th all-time in passing touchdowns, only 6 behind Hall of Famer John Elway. But what honestly makes Colin Kaepernick going to the Arizona Cardinals so interesting and realistic is because of what head coach Bruce Arians wrote in his book, the quarterback whisperer. While talking about taking the head coaching job for the Arizona Cardinals in 2013 and talking about his quarterback situation before the Arizona Cardinals pursued Carson Palmer, he quote said, "I'm too damn old to be rebuilding anything," and discussing his distaste for drafting young rookies and then went out and acquired Carson Palmer. So while Drew Stanton is the quarterback for now, I wouldn't expect a trade for AJ McCarron or drafting a quarterback. Bruce Arians wants a prime veteran, and with David Johnson, Adrian Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, and along with that defense, it would be an awesome return for Colin Kaepernick to return to the NFC West. The New York Giants. While this one I could just be kind of pulling out of thin air, things could be different personnel-wise when it comes to the New York Giants next season, and that's where we'll most likely see if this can be realistic. The New York Giants, as you guys know, have been one of the most disappointing teams in the NFL this season. And while there are many problems that the New York Giants have to deal with going into this offseason, none is bigger than Ben McAdoo and Eli Manning. I don't expect Eli Manning to retire, let's just go ahead and get that straight. I think if Ben McAdoo is fired and the New York Giants are lucky enough to get a good coach, then Eli Manning will give it another shot. Because let's face it, the New York Giants were just a one-man show with Odell Beckham, and this season, I think they finally realized that. And signing Colin Kaepernick will provide what it provided for the Arizona Cardinals, security at the backup position and prime to become a starter when need be. They would be able to look into future drafts, drafting players that they would specifically need to make their team prime for playoff contention right now and in the future, without having to worry about the quarterback position. I don't think the Giants co-owner John Mara would do this, but like I said, I could just be pulling it out of thin air. I just don't know. Colin Kaepernick isn't a bad quarterback. When looking back at his stats in 2016, the last season that Colin Kaepernick played, through the first 11 weeks of the NFL, Colin Kaepernick had completed almost 50% of his passes, threw for over 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions with a QBR of 76.3. At this point, if he was playing in the NFL as of right now, he would be ranked 22nd in the NFL in passing yards, tied 9th in touchdowns, tied for 3rd in the NFL with the least interceptions, and he was doing it with a team that was ranked 32nd in rushing yards per game. I just have to give credit where it's due. So if you guys did enjoy this video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more NFL videos like this one. This was a little bit of a lengthy video, but I do also want to give an honorable mention to the Denver Broncos, the New York Jets, and the Washington Redskins, who can also make the case for this video if things don't go their way in this coming offseason. But as I said, like and subscribe, and if you really enjoyed the content, then after you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell icon next to my name to be alerted every time I post a video. I know it's been a while and the videos are a little spread out at this point. It's just because of work. I work at a retail store and it's just rough with the holiday season and all, but your boy is gonna get that bag, so it works out. But thank you guys for tuning into today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the comments to see what you guys think about Colin Kaepernick's future. Peace!